Welcome back, folks. Been a long time coming. I've been going crazy, doing some career changes. I gave up having my own repair business and managing a warehouse to just go work at one shop full time. Makes life a lot easier. Now that means I don't need this headset anymore. I got this because when you're managing a big warehouse, you need to be in constant communication with a team full of people, but when you're in this big building with a huge conveyor system and vans backing up and people throwing boxes everywhere, it gets hard to hear a radio that's just clipped to your belt. This is called an acoustic headset. It hooks up to a Motorola XBR3300, and then the speaker is in this little box that gets clipped underneath your shirt, and the sound travels through this tube right up to your ear. Now this pass-through earpiece sits outside of your ear, and the sound around you can go right through this little hole unobstructed. Great situational awareness, and you can still hear the radio through this little tube. Now this would be perfect for the job I'm in now, because working at a shop, I still need to hear what's going on around me, but I'd also like to hear podcasts or whatever. So I picked up this cheap little Bluetooth module off old Amazon. How about we put them together? So just to give everybody a quick idea of what we're trying to do here. This is my smartphone right here. It sends out the Bluetooth signal. It communicates with the board. They connect together. Now broadcast the music from my phone to the board. Board is doing this with the power of an 18650 or some other battery. Now if I wanted to size it properly, I could do a draw test, see what the actual current this thing draws, and then size the battery appropriately. But I'm just going to be using some recycled cells that I've picked up, so whatever fits. Now for the output, this board is left, ground, right, and of course we'll hook the ground right up to that speaker. And I'm torn between whether I want to just hook up one channel to the speaker or if I'm going to go the route of shorting the outputs together and putting that on the speaker. Now that should be fine with a little amp like this, but it could cause a good amount of distortion and lead to extra battery draw and a bunch of other stuff. If I really wanted to figure this out, whether this is doable or not, I could just send certain tone through this amp and see if with a scope on the output, if it's distorted or not. I'm just gonna hook it up like this and listen. If it sounds good, I'm gonna keep it. If it doesn't, then we'll change it. Alright, so first thing first, I'm gonna say, all my good tools are at work. Alright, so this is the enameled wire. Now normally you would sand some of the enamel off first. I just put some flux on the wire. I'm going to see if I can't just melt the enamel off. Alright, there you go. Works like a charm. Now we just got to clean the board off and mount the wires. So I added a couple posts for the battery to connect to, and I have them facing in so I can keep the board nice and compact. Eventually I'm either going to put this in a box and clip it to my belt, or I'm going to put this in a tube of blue lined heat shrink and just stick it in my pocket. Alright, so here it is, ready to go. I added on some of these tabs for battery connection, because I'm going to be doing some playing around while I fine tune it, so I wanted it to be a little modular in the meantime. BT 5.0 audio, let's go ahead and connect. Yes, we want a pair. I don't know if you heard that, but I think we're ready to rock and or roll. So now the next thing I've done is gone ahead and soldered some leads onto one of these 18650 battery holders I had laying around, and of course one of the old batteries I recovered from my laptop. Let's test out the portability. We're linked. It's time to climb. Here we are.
Up in the sky?
Up in the sky. We've got our connection maintained. I'll give you guys a listen. Well, that first take's gonna have to do, because I broke the lead off the battery pack. And I don't really have a soldering iron up here, so we're just gonna have to enjoy the view. The trees are in my way. Next investment's a pocket soldering iron.